Okay, everybody. I guess we had some more technical difficulties with this, unfortunately. So we'll go ahead and pick this back up. And the New Orleans Saints here against Montreal. We are in the Autumn Wind Championship game. Both of these clubs were 12-4 in the regular season. Both of the clubs had byes. And we now are watching a title shot here between Montreal and New Orleans. Now, New Orleans started out with the ball, and they are coached by Jean Lafleur. And now Montreal has taken over after that first possession, and they are coached by Claude Turcotte. Both of these are long-standing coaches here in Autumn Wind. Montreal, in fact, is looking for the title after losing out to Duke Szymanski and his Philadelphia Eagles last season. So looking for revenge here. Both of these clubs have excellent defenses, top two, in fact, in terms of scoring defense. There's our first turnover of the game. That is an interception. Looking for Amari Cooper. And the Saints will take over with excellent field position there on the first game breaker of the game. We're only 3 minutes in, and we've already seen the first turnover. As that interception is returned 12 yards, and the Saints will take over at the Montreal Alouettes 12. So thanks, everybody, for pointing out. I had a little bit of difficulty here early on with this broadcast. Unfortunately, I guess I got to fly solo on this one. There's a run to James White, a pickup of 6 on the play. So throughout the playoffs, we've seen a pro set formation here with Dearness Johnson and White. White is little used on the ground. Actually, where you're going to see him shine tonight, maybe, at least that's what you did in the regular season, was through the air. 109 catches for White this year for almost 1,000 yards. So he is the bread and butter target for this club. Sterling Shepard also had 80 receptions. There's another run to White, and the defense guesses right, and White loses a couple yards. So it's now 3rd down and 8 with the ball resting at the 8. So the Saints opened up with possession. Montreal immediately throwing an interception on their first possession. And that was Ryan Tannehill, who threw 17 of them this year against 16 touchdowns. But this would be a big stop if they could hold them here to just 3 and minimize this damage. 3rd and 6, ball at the 8. Here's an off-tackle run. To Dearness Johnson. Defense guessed run, but he found a short gain on his card, and New Orleans has struck first. Touchdown Saints. And they're looking for the extra point here to make it 7-0. So short field, no surprise. They strike first blood. And they do it in a big way with the touchdown. Zane Gonzalez lines up for the extra point, and he shanks it. 2 through 10 good, 11-12 no good. And now Montreal will take over for their second possession. Again, both of these clubs allowing just over 240 points for the entire season. That's just a point or two above 2 touchdowns a game. So dynamic defenses on both sides. Interesting matchup we're going to see tonight. Very good wide receivers, Cooper and Allen Robinson, up against the 4s, the left and right corners. Both are 4s. Here's a quick out pass to Dan Arnold, the tight end. Defense guesses pass. And that's only a pickup of 2. So not a star-studded secondary. In fact, there's a 4 free safety back there for New Orleans. But you can see those 2 6s. So Montreal is going to try to pick on that 4 at left linebacker. And that is the Cincinnati Bengals' Logan Wilson. So Ryan Tannehill under center. There's a square in pass. It's guessed wrong. He's looking for Allen Robinson. Oh, and he finds a blank on Allen Robinson's card. Blank on 4 and a blank on 8 and a blank on 11. That could have gone someplace. Bad break there for Montreal. And it's now 3rd and 8. So my apologies, everyone, with some errors here as far as audio is concerned. And I'm sorry about this, Duke. We'll go ahead and call this game as best as we can. We did a really cool pregame show that unfortunately, due to some audio issues, we were not able to showcase. But I am going to post those online because Ken Briere, our fantastic league artist, he's come up with our logos and all of these title cards. He's done wonderful work for us. And he put together something really special that unfortunately audio-wise wasn't great, but I want to share these pictures with you. He did such an outstanding job, and we'll post them later on. He's also put together great newspapers, banners. He's just amazing. So, Ken, thank you so much for all that you do for this league. There's a crossing pattern pass. He's looking for Allen Robinson. Nice call from New Orleans Saints as they have double-teamed him. And he's able to thread the needle anyway and get that 10-yard reception. So Ryan Tannehill, who has a lousy short pass card to begin with, finds some luck there on a 10-yard reception. It's on his card. And so move the chains. So Montreal has their first down of the contest. Ball is at the 37. We are in the Autumn Wind Championship. The Montreal Alouettes, champions of the AFC, going head-to-head with the New Orleans Saints, champions of the NFC. Claude Turcotte up against LaFleur. That's his name. LaFleur. Off-tackle run. Looking for Darrell Williams. That's Gene LaFleur. There we go. Pick up a 5. So Darrell Williams, three-headed monster. We're going to see 3 running backs tonight for New Orleans. That's Darrell Williams. That's Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Boston Scott. Boston Scott probably has the best of the 3 cards. All 3 of them had more than 100 carries this season. In fact, as a team, Montreal ran the ball 400 times as a club. Second down and 5. Defense guessed run. That's a pass, and it's caught, and it's good for 10 yards and another first down. That was to out of the backfield, Boston Scott. So now they have made their way into New Orleans territory on their first drive of the contest. First pass, in fact, Ryan Tannehill threw an interception. It was intended for Amari Cooper. And New Orleans Saints capitalized with a touchdown on a Dearness Johnson run, but they missed the extra point, and that's where we are right now. 6-0. About halfway through this first quarter in the Autumn Wind 2022-23 championship. Defense guesses pass. He's looking for Allen Robinson, and the 4 is able to make the play. So incomplete pass. So Sidney Jones will be manning up Allen Robinson tonight, and A.J. Boye has drawn Amari Cooper. They do have a 6 defending Dan Arnold, and that is the Honey Badger. There's a pitch to Scott. Great call there by New Orleans. It's on the D card, and it doesn't really pick up much, only a pickup of 1. As defensive end was able to make the play, defensive end 1 or 5. And so here's a tester here, 3rd and 9. Early on in this drive, they did complete a pass. They did get a first down in a situation similar to this. Even when Allen Robinson was double-teamed, Tannehill was able to complete this pass. Not exactly Tannehill's forte. Darrell Williams now has lined up in the backfield. Three wide set. And Nico Collins has now checked into the game, and that's where they're going, and that's where New Orleans is targeting. And look at that. He hits it for the 2nd time in the game. Ryan Tannehill on a 5. Hardly a dreaded 5, right? So Ryan Tannehill completes his 2nd double-teamed catch. Can't believe that New Orleans double-teamed Nico, but he smelled something. But unfortunately for him, Tannehill again is able to thread the needle and move the chains. So mark that one down. 2 double-teamed catches on this drive. couple of good breaks for Montreal, but they're thinking, hey, we deserve it after that interception on the first drive. Okay, they're looking for Allen Robinson here. Defense looking for the pass as well. Tannehill throws across the middle. Interception split, but it is incomplete. 2 through 5. Interception split. Second down and 10. Tannehill so far 4 of 8 for 32 yards and that one interception. He threw 17 of them this year. So Boston Scott is back into the contest. He's the reserve running back with the real-life Philadelphia Eagles. Quite a running club there in Philadelphia with Gainwell, Miles Sanders, and, of course, Jalen Hurts. There's a square-out pass for Amari Cooper. Defense guesses pass, and for the third time, wow, New Orleans is on it. They double-team him. So that puts 2 men in the zone. It's a pickup of 2, and we now have third down and 8. Ball at the 35. So we're looking at right now, if they don't get it here, at a 52-yard field goal. Matt Prater is the kicker for the Alouettes. And from 50 or more, he's 7 of 11 this year. So he has the range to kick this field goal. 7 of 11 from 50, 6 of 11 from 40. There's a screen pass looking for Darrell Williams. They're double teaming Robinson. And the worst case scenario, loss of 4 on that play as the 6th linebacker was defending Darrell Williams. And so he stopped 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And so Prater is going to line up for a 56-yard field goal. And he puts it through. He puts it through, and Montreal is on the board. And they have cut this deficit in half at 6-3 with 4:30 to go here in the first quarter. So now the Saints will have it in their own territory. The last time they got the ball inside of the Montreal 20, courtesy of an interception by A.J. Boye. So we're going to set this up. That's Matty Ryan under center. James White with more than 100 catches this year. And that was Murray. So Murray on his first carry is stopped. It was on the D card. As you can see, that Montreal line has 3 4s, but it does have 1 6. And so they're able to make the stop because it was a white die 6. Had it not been for that, it would have been a 13-yard pickup. So no gain on the play, second down and 10. Latavius Murray had 975 yards this year. 1,250 for his backfield mate, Dearness Johnson. They almost had 2,000-yard running backs. Kind of a rarity, but every once in a while you do see that in autumn wind. Ryan is unable to connect on that pass that was intended for Cephas. And so it's 3rd and 10. Unfortunately, in the pregame, probably the volume didn't get through, so we didn't get a chance to explain a lot of this, but not exactly the strongest lot that's there to help Ryan. As you can see, Cephas on one side and Sterling Shepard on the other. In fact, Shepard averaged less than 10 yards a catch. White was by far and away their most productive receiver out of the backfield. So on 3rd down, we see 2 double teams here. They're looking for Kyle Rudolph. That is incomplete. And New Orleans is going to be forced to punt it away after that 3 and out. Montreal features a much better secondary than New Orleans. And they don't have the best receivers on New Orleans as well. So that's going to be a tough hill for them to climb. Anyway, there's a 16-yard pickup. That was Amari Rogers, who in the AFC Championship game had a long punt return. He was stopped just short of the goal line, but they were able to put it in. It actually took them 4 downs to score, but once they did, they took a lead over Oakland, and they never looked back. So Montreal defeated Oakland in the AFC Championship, and in the NFC tilt, New Orleans defeated the Shreveport Streamer. So that's how we've got here. Both these clubs were 14-4. Montreal was the number 1 seed in the AFC, and New Orleans was the number 2 seed in the NFC, trailing the Cleveland Browns. There's an off-tackle run. Defense guesses run. And Darrell Williams is able to pick up a couple on the play. It's now 2nd down and 8. Pretty decent offensive line there for Montreal. As you can see, he's got a 6 at tackle. And he's got 2 guards at 6. The center is a 4, and the left tackle is a 4. New Orleans has a slightly better, I believe, run blocking offense. Both these 2 pass blockers, the pass block, the line, offensive line pass blocking actually for both clubs is pretty solid. There's a quick look into Allen Robinson, and that pass is going to be incomplete. It was guessed wrong, but it was on the D card. Linebacker in zone's able to make that play. He's got a 6 there. He doesn't now. Well, we'll see how this lines up. But New Orleans has that wonderful luxury of not just 1, but 2 6s at linebacker, middle linebacker 6 and a right linebacker 6. So you don't get that white die 6 nonsense. And he has Logan Wilson there at left linebacker, and he's destined for better ratings in the future. It looks like he has a solid career headed his way. All right, there's a deep shot looking for Amari Cooper. Now the defense defended. Oh, there's the double team on Amari Cooper. So the Saints, who was burned by not 1 but 2 double teams and had completed pass, watched Tannehill basically throws his 2nd interception. So nice call there for New Orleans, and they are going to take over at their own 46. So a costly turnover for Tannehill, his 2nd interception of the contest, and that gives New Orleans excellent field position once again at the 45. They're up 6-3 with a minute 48 to go here in the first quarter. Gene LaFleur, head coach of the New Orleans Saints, Claude Turcotte with Montreal. Montreal was in the championship last year, losing to Duke Szymanski and the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's a flare pass to the right, looking for Latavius Murray. 0 men in zone, picks it up. That's a 10-yard gain and a 1st down. So he threw to the vacated zone as the defense was double teaming, looked like Shepard on that play. So minute 15 running clock. New Orleans has made their way for the 2nd time into Montreal territory. They capitalized on a big turnover on Montreal's first possession. After a couple of running plays, Dearness Johnson on 3rd down trotted into the end zone, giving them the lead. Their kicker, Zane Gonzalez, shanked the extra point. Montreal answered on their next drive with a long field goal from Prater, plus 50 yards, and that's where we stand at 6-3. 2nd and 10, ball to 45. So you can see 5s and 6s in that secondary, but they do have a 4 guarding Shepard, and their leading receiver, White, also is defended by a 4 linebacker. White with more than 100 catches this year. There's a flare pass. Looking for Dearness Johnson this time, again, who is playing fullback. White dice 6, 0 men in the zone. That's a pickup of 11. And another 1st down for the Saints. The ball resting at the 34. And that was the final play of the first quarter. So the Saints are up 6-3 and driving in Montreal territory at the Alouettes' 34-yard line. So that's White in there. Now Latavius Murray. Murray and Dearness Johnson with run block ratings of 4 or better. And that gives them the privilege, if you will, of playing fullback in this league. And so now we have James White, who really didn't carry the ball much this year for New Orleans. Around 30 carries. He already has a couple carries in this game. There's a deep shot looking for Sterling Shepard. 0 men in zone, but the pass falls incomplete. And it's now 2nd down and 10. So Matt Ryan, not a great deep card, but better than Tannehill's. Better overall card than Tannehill's. 16 touchdown passes this year against 11 interceptions for Ryan. Just kind of thin at receiver. Defense gets past there, and Dearness Johnson, who has those nice short gains there at 8 and 9, and there's a nice one at 4. Picks up some yards there. A nice gain of 18. And so New Orleans is in business. With the ball resting at the 16-yard line. Just a minute here into the second quarter. New Orleans 6, Montreal 3. There's a pass looking for Griffin. A minimal gain of 3. That was his first reception of the game. Matt Ryan so far is 5 of 10 for 39 yards. Dearness Johnson has the lone touchdown in this game, and he checks back into the game again in this pro set formation. As you can see, a nice run block line there. Got a couple of 6s and a 5. Defense guesses pass again, looking for Dearness Johnson. Oh, sorry, it was a double team, and that pass is incomplete. So he was looking for Dearness Johnson. I thought he called a run there. Instead, he called a pass, and he was successfully double teamed. So now it's 3rd and 7. So again, Montreal has the opportunity to get them off the field and keep this to a 1-score lead. They're trailing 6-3. Dearness Johnson with the lone touchdown, and now he is in there. I haven't seen this formation very much. It's the 2 tight end set. Kyle Rudolph has checked into the game. He was targeted the last time they ran this 2 tight end set. 4-3 defense. Your base 4-3. He's called for a blitz. Or he's showing blitz at least. Yeah, New Orleans has a pretty fair pass blocking line. Plus, they've got 4 there in the backfield. Judon is the leading pass rusher for Montreal. He's probably the only pass rusher of consequence in this game tonight. Here's a pass looking for Griffin, and it is incomplete. So they're going to have to settle for this Zane Gonzalez field goal. He already missed one from around this range, actually. He missed an extra point. And now he's looking to redeem himself with this 30-yard field goal, and he shanks another one. So Zane Gonzalez has left 4 points on the field. Now Montreal will take over at their own 20. So definitely dodging a bullet there. So special teams play ugly for the Who Days, and they will hand the ball back over to the Montreal Alouettes. Here's their first play from scrimmage. This is Darrell Williams, a cast-off from Kansas City. But he, along with Boston Scott and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, toted the rock 100 times, all 3 of them, 100 carries each for Montreal this year, as he's running behind such a very, very good line there with you got your 6s on the off tackles. You got a couple of guards there at 5 and 6 and a tackle at 6. So it's a nice looking line. So it more than makes up for average running backs. Pickup of 7 on that play as the tackle was able to make that block. There's an inside run. Now they guess run. Let's see. And he picks it up. So they convert the first down on a 3-yard run as the center was able to make the block. He only needed to be a 4, just enough. Turns out he is a 4, so there's your first down. 11-24. Both of these clubs are all about ball control, specifically New Orleans. Darrell Williams again. The Saints call run. Great call. Let's see if they get the benefit. I'm sorry, that was a pass to Darrell Williams. I thought for sure there was a run. So that was a screen pass to Darrell Williams, and it was a white die 6. So it's a pickup of 13. Had that been a 4 or a 5, I believe it still would have been good because it would have been the defender in the zone, and he picked on that lone 4. As you can see, the 6 in the middle and the 6 on the right. So gain of 13. There's another white die 6, pickup of 7, 0 men in zone. Second down and 3, so 2 consecutive white die 6s, and he reaps the benefits. Now we have Clyde Edwards-Helaire has checked into the game, another Kansas City Chief. Quick in, defense is guessing pass. Looking for Moreau, and it is intercepted for the 3rd time in this contest. Tannehill is picked off. Hardly his fault there. It was just the interception split, just some bad luck. No ratings here. This was just a straight-up pick. So for the 3rd time in this contest, Ryan Tannehill, who threw 17 of them this year, no stranger to turning the ball over. Already 3.5. And so once again, New Orleans will take over with great field position just near the midfield stripe. There's a carry for Latavius Murray. He will pick up 7, and it's now 2nd down and 3. So Montreal has to buckle down on defense again here. Trailing 6-3, but it could be much worse had it not been for Zane Gonzalez missing an extra point and a field goal. So let's see if Montreal can hold this score, only trailing 6-3. Gene LaFleur and his New Orleans Saints, 14-4 champions of the NFC. Crossing pattern, defense guesses run. Wow, gosh. You'd be hoping for better result than that, but a blank on a 9 on Matt Ryan's card, guessed wrong, and it's now 3rd and 3 at the 44. So let's see if he comes out with maybe Murray and Dearness Johnson, or if we're going to see White. Put that full house back. Excuse me, not the full house, the pro set offense. He does. He goes back to pro set. So we got Latavius Murray in the game. 4-3. So you can see 4s across. So is he going to move that 6 into one of those zones? Maybe bring up that middle linebacker. Okay, he's going to double team. Well, no, I can't say that. We don't know what he's going to do here. Maybe he's going to bring that linebacker up and put the 6 in the middle. Screen to White, and he will pick up 10. Defense guessed run on that play. And after that pickup of 10, move the chains. First down, New Orleans with the ball at the 34. Well, interesting from Zane Gonzalez. He's been money from deep. We'll look at it here in just a moment. Here's a run up the middle for Latavius Murray. Defense guesses pass. And it's only going to pick up 3. Guessed wrong. Zane Gonzalez coming into this game was 11 of 13 from 40 to 49 and 10 of 11 from 50. So it's not like it's highly unusual for him to blow these kicks. That right now would put New Orleans on top 10-3, but instead it's only 6-3. But they're looking good on this drive as they have made their way once again into field goal range. From here, it'd be a 48-yarder. Heading to the midway point here of the second quarter. Montreal, 3 interceptions from Ryan Tannehill has been the story here in the first half. Defense guesses run. They're looking for Ryan Griffin. And that's a pickup of 9 on Matt Ryan's card. And that, once again, will give them a first down. Ryan, 58 yards. Passing here in the first half, 7 of 15. Ball to 22-yard line, just under 7.5 to go. We're officially at 7-12 here in this Autumn Wind 2022-2023 championship contest. Off tackle run. Defense is double teaming Shepard. It's going to only pick up 4. So it's now 2nd down and 6. That was Dearness Johnson. You hold your breath when you guessed wrong on him, as you can see those short gains. 20-yard pickup on 4. Shorties on 6. 8, 9, and 10. That's a dangerous card, guessed wrong. Fortunately, he can't run the ball 30 times a game. He's limited to the number of carries he can have in a contest. He's still in there. 10 unfatigued carries to go for the contest. He's only carried the ball 4 times for 30 yards. But just that threat of having him in there. There's a hitch pass that is incomplete. It's just a threat just having him in there. Okay, so we're in the same scenario here. Montreal can dodge a bullet if they can get them off the field here. 3rd and 6. Both these clubs are really stingy when it comes to 3rd down conversions. Both are around 31, 32%, and that's among the best in the league. Two tight ends set. So now that's Kyle Rudolph checking back into the game along with Shepard and Cephas. And that's White in the backfield. Prolific receiver this year, more than 100 catches. Ryan's favorite target. Shepard is their second favorite target. He had 80 catches. We've already seen him throw to Griffin twice. 3rd and 6. Sideline pass. Double teaming Rudolph here. And that pass is caught, and it's going to go into the end zone for a score. So linebacker in the zone, and he got the best reading you possibly could have, a pickup of 20. So Sterling Shepard scores from 18 yards out, and this will extend the lead to, are you kidding me, another missed extra point? What is going on here? Zane Gonzalez has left 5 points on the field now. I don't know that I've seen anything like this, to have 3 missed kicks, a missed field goal, and 2 missed extra points. This is absolutely crazy. Regardless, they still have the lead here at 12-3. Fingers crossed here that we don't have the old game freeze. And we do not, so that's great. All right, so Montreal will set up shop. So the shakiest gun in the Super Bowl, Ryan Tannehill, is under center. He's already thrown 3 interceptions. But they're going to need him the rest of the way to right this ship. They're trailing only by 9. And I believe they're going to get the kickoff heading into the third quarter. Off tackle run for Darrell Williams. Defense guesses pass. And it's going to pick up 3. as the defensive tackle was able to make the play. It would have been a 7-yard gain, but instead that 5 comes up big and holds him to only 3. Second down and 7. 5:24 on a running clock. AFC champions Claude Turcotte trailing 12-3, but it could be much, much worse. I think he has to feel pretty thankful for turning the ball over three times, and only being down by 9. Getting a score here before the half would just be so huge. Off tackle run. This time it's Boston Scott in the backfield. Defense guesses pass. And now he's going to pick up 7 yards on that play and move the chains for a first down as the offensive tackle was able to make that block. He's a 6. The white die was a 4. So that's one generated by that very, very solid offensive line. Tough to build. Good offensive line. Strat is very stingy, giving up 5s and 6s on the line. Just so many 4s. Such a great advantage to having a line that can pick up those extra yards, even when it's guessed right. .448 to go. Ball at the 35-yard line. There's another off-tackle run to Williams. Nobody's up there to support. And that's a nice pickup. Good start. 8 yards. Ball now at the 43. Second down and 2. Darrell Williams, Edwards-Helaire, and Boston Scott. All 3 of these running backs with over 100 carries. More than 400 carries total for Montreal this year. Off tackle run. Defense again guesses pass, and that's Edwards-Helaire in. Again, nobody up to support. Oh, but the dreaded 5 comes back to bite him. Shouldn't be too upset about that. He had 2 double team catches on Tannehill's card on a 5. So the 5 giveth and the 5 taketh away. And now it's 3rd and 2. A really big 3rd down here for Montreal. They would love to keep this momentum going. Already trailing by 9. Want to pick up this 2 here so they don't have any scary thoughts about going for it in their own territory. They'd love to pick this up and not have to have that conflict, that mental anguish. Here's an inside run for Edwards-Helaire. This looks good. Defense guesses pass. They did bring up a player, but he's unable to make the play. It's on the running back's card, and that's a pickup of 7. So move the chains. Don't have to worry about going for it on 4th down. They've made their way to the midfield stripe. Ball at the 50. 3 minutes to go on a running clock. They do have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. As Darrell Williams has checked back into the game. So we've seen all 3 running backs here on this drive. New Orleans has been pretty much pass heavy here. They're kind of afraid. Maybe those outside receivers, they've been calling pass pretty straight up here. Now they call run. And there's your screen pass to Williams. That's guessed wrong. Oh my gosh, he just missed another interception. Mercy sakes. Whew. That would have been a disaster, a total disaster. But instead, the pass flutters harmlessly to the turf. And so now it is 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 50. New Orleans Saints with a very good pass defense. And on the surface, it doesn't look like it when you've got 2 corner 4s, but those 6s really help out at middle linebacker and the right linebacker. So it totals up to 26. That's good enough for a very good defense. Nice card. We're playing on a neutral field today, so while New Orleans is listed as the home team, there is no advantage either way for today's contest. So 3rd down and 9. After Scott picked up 1 yard. And this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. There's a quick out pass to Moreau. Defense is double teaming Amari Cooper. He's throwing out there to that linebacker 4. But he's only able to get a yard on the play as the linebacker in zone is able to make that play. Had he not, it would have been a pickup of 5. So now we have 4th and 8. Montreal trailing 12-3. And they're confident in their defense. They're going to go ahead and kick this one back to New Orleans and try to keep this score at 12-3 coming into the half. Or maybe force a turnover, but they're not. I'm not even sure, even at, 4th and 4, if they would have gone for it there. I'm not sure he was thinking about a field goal from there. That would have been a 65-yarder. I don't know that Prater has that ability. All right, straightaway kick. They're going to pin him deep. That's nice. That's Percy Harvin from the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's good to pin him deep. If I remember correctly, I don't believe that card is very good for returns, and I know he has a punt block. Neither one of the 2 return men for either of these clubs, McLeod, Rogers, really have much on their card. Although Rogers last week had a punt return, but it was on a 12 on the D card or specialist card. Almost took it to the house. He was tackled at the 1. So here we go. Off tackle run to Murray. Defense guesses pass. They're going to play it safe here. He only picks up 2 on the D card. There was a linebacker there in zone. It's now 2nd down and 8. And New Orleans is not going to call timeout, as there's 1:22 to go here in the first half. New Orleans up 12-3. Capitalizing on 3 Ryan Tannehill interceptions here in the first half. Ball at the 15. Montreal also electing not to call timeout there, but we'll see. As a result of this play, maybe they might think twice about it. Looking for Cephas. That's good for 6, and now it's 3rd and 2. So both of these clubs could have compelling reasons to call timeout here, but neither of them will. 52 seconds to go. Ball to 21. New Orleans does not have the weapons to go downfield. Their receivers are pretty pedestrian. If I remember correctly, I think the longest gain from scrimmage for this club, receiver-wise, was only 44 yards. Shepard, probably their best receiver, averaged around 8 yards a catch. So this isn't a team that tries to push it down the field, but he is looking at a 4 over there. That white die 6 might give you heartburn. There's 0 men in the zone. There's an up the middle run. Defense guesses run, and there it is. Murray, tough to stop on 3rd down. Usually winds up with pretty decent guess right cards. He is going to pick up 3 there, and they will move the chains now to the 24. And New Orleans trying to decide whether or not to call timeout, and it looks like they will. All right. So now the ball's at the 45. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm just sitting here broadcasting. What do I know? But I don't know if this might not be a decent time to put in Dearness Johnson, because he has so many short gains on his card, rather than Latavius Murray. There's an off-tackle run for Murray. Let's see what he's looking for. Maybe there's something good on that card. Well, there's your short gain. 17. He could be trying to dial up that 46 too. He's got a short gain on an 8. That's not bad. So they're marching their way down the field. They'll probably call timeout here, I would assume, and that'll knock it down to 1. They do. Ball now at the 41. So Gonzalez, who has been pretty hideous here so far in this contest. Two missed extra points and a missed field goal. Is actually lights out from outside of 40 or 50, and I'm sure he'll have no hesitation putting him back out there again. Try to put this one through the pipes and extend the lead. They're already up 12-3. And looking for more on this drive. Both of these clubs have exceptional defenses, allowing just over 2 touchdowns a game. The two best defenses in autumn win for 22-23. As we now have made our way to the last contest for the 2022-23 season. We've had an excellent playoffs, lots of good close games. And there you go. There is the first sack of the game. And that's a big one. And that goes to Judon, who really is the only pass rusher of consequence in this game. And as a result, New Orleans is electing whether or not to call timeout here. I think they're just probably going to let this one go and be content with that 12-3 lead. Well, let's see. 2nd down and 18. Oh, who calls? Well, hey, it's Montreal that now calls timeout. So it's 2nd down and 18 from the 33. So this changes things a little bit. I can't imagine New Orleans getting too crazy with the ball here. Ryan did throw 11 interceptions this year, and he is prone to turn the ball over. So might we see just 2 runs? Maybe check Dearness Johnson back in there. Or I guess he could stay with Murray and just run 2 more up the middle just to burn those timeouts. If they do, that would potentially give Montreal the ball back with 8 seconds to go. But he's got the timeouts. No sense in leaving him in his pocket. Why not use him? 2 tight end set. Defense going 4-3. There's an anomaly on Kyle Rudolph's short pass card. I believe he has a 60-yard gain on his short pass card. Guessed wrong. Wonder if he tries to dial him up here. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. He hit him. I believe it was in the divisional round that he got a 60-yard pickup. Wow, he's going deep for Sterling Shepard. That's a surprise. And so that pass is incomplete. Maybe he thought New Orleans was going to try to snuff out a run. Wouldn't have mattered either way. Runner past that ball. That ball's gone to the turfs. 3rd down and 18. So Montreal does get to, for what it's worth, preserve a timeout. 22 seconds to go. Ball at the 33. Kind of a risky throw there. Go big or go home. Yeah, Sterling Shepard's card's not great at all. No long gains on there or anything. That's an interesting call. Okay. 3rd and 18. Montreal lining up pretty good here. Judon with the big play on this drive. There's an off-tackle run, but it's on the D card, so it's not going to pick up much. It does get 6, and I would assume Montreal is going to call timeout here once more. And so now it's 4th down. Let's see if he just tries to kick this thing out of bounds. Nope. Kicking it straight away. Rogers had a big return last week. He gets some yards. A little pickup there. 15. Does have that long gain on 12. So both of these clubs don't have very good punt coverage, so it was worth it. So Montreal basically have a chance at 2 plays here before the half. Cooper's a 5 deep. Let's see. I think Allen Robinson might also be a 5 deep as well. That's Paris Campbell and Nico Collins. Nico was in early on, which drive was that? Second drive. And New Orleans successfully double teamed him. Nico didn't have a lot of catches this year for Montreal. That was a heck of a call from the Saints. They correctly double teamed him. 8 seconds to go. Ball in the 34. I believe Montreal is going to get the ball here at the half. Prater already drilled one from 50. So they need about 26 yards on this play. Bomb, who are they looking for? Allen Robinson. Defense is double teaming elsewhere. And it's intercepted. The 4th pickoff of the game. And fortunately, it's not going to go anywhere. So, wow. You have to go back to the autumn wind history books here to see a performance that's been this dismal in the first half. Ryan Tannehill outdoing himself, 9 of 18 for 51 yards and 4 interceptions. And so with that return, oh, wow. Gosh, that's crazy. I didn't see where the return went, but apparently they were able to line up for a halfway decent field goal attempt. But once again, Ryan Gonzalez misses. And so now we've made our way to the half. So that's your score, 12-3 in a crazy championship game. That's kind of reminiscent of that Cowboys-Colts game. What was that, Super Bowl V that had so many errors? I think that game ended up 16-13. Slight bit before my time. But Montreal is breathing a sigh of relief there. That could have been a disaster to hand up 3 more points. As it stands now, they're only trailing 12-3. But just unable to get anything cooking on offense. And it's hard when you basically hand the ball to the Saints 4 times. Law of averages just says there's no way that Tannehill could have a half like that. But it's tough when you put the game on his shoulders. Just doesn't have the card to match. This isn't Tannehill from a couple of years ago. It's a surprisingly bad card, which it really says a lot about Montreal getting to this title game with an average quarterback, and a lot too for New Orleans Saints. Ryan's card is not that much better. So impressive coaching performance from both of these two teams. So the two coaches are going back. Yeah, hey, there you are. Hey, crazy half.
I just want to let you know that your mic is chopping up a little bit too.
Okay.
I got a feeling whatever the audio plot is, it's at your end.
No, Duke, that's not right. Michael's audio has been perfect. It's your headphones or your microphone that's messing up. If it sounds bad to you, it's not the broadcast. It's on your side.
Okay, so he's not chopping up?
Not choppy at all. He's been perfect.
Okay. That must be my end then. Okay.
We'll figure it out. All right, so both the clubs are going to get back after it here. Fortunately, we don't have a lengthy 20, 30-minute halftime show. We just jump right back into it after a bathroom break. So Montreal's going to take over, trailing 12-3. Tannehill right back after it, throws, pickup of 6 yards on the play. That was to Darrell Williams, who has 4 catches for 27 yards. So the story of the first half, the turnovers, 4 of them, count them, for Ryan Tannehill and Zane Gonzalez, the kicker for New Orleans, has left 8 points on the field, 2 missed field goals and 2 extra points, and that's where we find ourselves now, 12-3, as Montreal picks up that first down, a gain of 7 for Edwards-Helaire, and move the chains, ball to 44. Both these clubs, very, very stingy defense. As we mentioned before the game, you have to bet the under here. Duke Szymanski early on said 39.5, I believe, was the number that he threw out there. And so far, things are looking pretty good for him. Off-tackle run. There's a gain of 4 for Darrell Williams. Dancing between the raindrops. There, a short gain of 6 and a short gain of on 8. But instead, he'll take 4. As they're making their way to midfield, this is Montreal's first drive of the second half. They opened up receiving the kickoff, trailing 12-3. Both these clubs are 14-4. Montreal, the championship of the AFC, New Orleans, the NFC champions. There's a crossing pattern pass. And Tannehill's going to run. And that's the old Tannehill that we know. He only has a must run on 8 and a must run on 10. Look at that. Only 1 completion. Guessed right. Short gain. Yikes. But there's a 8-yard pickup. Obviously, this is a club where the receivers have to help him. And fortunately for Tannehill, Amari Cooper and Robinson have good receiver cards, but you're also depending on receiver ratings on a D card that's very good. So not a great combination. There's a deep pass that is incomplete. He's not afraid of 4 interceptions. Had a real shot at it, though. That was a white dive 4. Had it been a 5 or 6, that would have been a completion for 29 yards. So he's still not afraid to pick on those 4 corners or that 4 at free safety. But again, you're really hoping for a D rating on that. There's an off-tackle run defense. Great call. Great call. He didn't bring anybody up to support. Had it been on Scott's card, it probably would have been very little gain. Instead, he gets that blocking back, nasty blocking back reading, and he'll lose 2. So this drive was looking really solid, but now they're behind the sticks. Not exactly the conversion that Montreal gets that often. But interestingly, on their scoring drive in which they kicked a field goal, they got 2 consecutive double-team receptions for first downs. And they were both on Tannehill's card. Plenty of crazy rolls so far in this contest. So 3rd down and 12, 3-3-5. Actually, 3-2-6, no blitz. Inside run for Darrell Williams. They did bring up one of those safeties for support. And look at that. Hey, the double box comes into play. So nice call from Montreal on that draw. And they convert the 12 yards. So a first down and a 17-yard gain for Darrell Williams, who now has 7 carries for 46 yards. That was his longest run of the contest, and the ball now rests at the 29. They're trailing by 2 scores. It's a 46-yard field goal from here, so they are in field goal range. They have a golden opportunity to cut this 9-point deficit. Montreal Alouettes and Claude Turcotte. They were in the championship game last year. There's a pass that falls to the turf, 2nd down and 10. So he's got to pick up on 5, and I missed that one there on the 11. There it is on 9. So, again, not a great card. He's 10 of 21 now for 57 yards. All the leagues among the stratosphere have different rule sets. This one is unique in that we do not play with the dump off, so it does make passing a little difficult. game plays a little bit more like the NFL in the 70s than it does modern era, but it's unique. It has charm. And you've got to build your team to support the rule set that we have. Off tackle run. Defense guesses pass. New Orleans has been calling run on second down, even on second down and 10, but this time they call pass. Oh, godly. The dreaded 5 rears its ugly head and no gain. Gosh, you got to be hoping for more there. Look at all those chunk plays, 2 through 7. He would have taken any of those. And instead, he has to settle for the turf monster tackling Bo Scott, who, unlike his backfield mates, has been very pedestrian. 5 carries for 7 yards, just some bad luck. But Montreal is in field goal range here as he faces third down and 10 at the 29. On their last 3rd and 12, a run up the middle for Darrell Williams. Netted a first down on a 17-yard pickup. Let's see if he tries it again. Now he's got a 3-3-5. Screen pass right, looking for Darrell Williams. Defense is double teaming Allen Robinson. Open for a white dice 6. Hey, it's a pickup of 7. And the ball now rests at the 22. So it's 4th and 3. Montreal is going to elect to cut into this lead rather than think about going for it here on 4th down. This is only the second time that Montreal's been in New Orleans territory. Let's see if they're going to cash in with their second field goal. No. Wow. Boy, the kicking has been atrocious in this game. And so a terrible break for Montreal. All that work on a 6-minute drive, and they're going to come up empty. So Prater, early on in the game, who hit one from 50+, shanks this one from 46. And so the Saints are going to take over up 12-3. So we've seen 3 missed field goals, 2 missed extra points, and 4 interceptions in this contest so far. Got to be frustrating for both of these coaches. But that was a nice drive. So Montreal has proven they can move the ball downfield. And had it not been for that dreaded 5, that might not have been a 3rd and 10. It could have been even at the worst, it would have been a manageable 3rd down. But instead, after that missed field goal.
Yeah, that's one of the upgrades you don't want to miss out on. If you can trade somebody a late round pick to swap kickers, if you think you're in contention, go for it.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. So on that first play from scrimmage, it's a pickup of 6. On that flat pass, it's now 2nd down and 4. Good point, Dennis. Very good point.
I wasn't able to watch much. I was listening while I was playing a game, but
oh yeah,
it looks like if New Orleans can put this in the end zone, that's going to put Montreal in a really big hole.
Be real trouble. It's definitely going to be real trouble. Neither one, like I said before the game, both these clubs are averaging 16 points a game on defense. So it's understandable the score is as tight as it is. But again, Montreal, nice looking drive. That's the second one they put together. They just couldn't come up with points, but at least they know they can move the ball. Now they've got to stop them. There's a 7-yard pickup and a first down. As that run was Dearness Johnson. That's his 6th carry now for 43 yards. That's the scary thing. That's a great card, and he's got lots of carries left. Lots of carries left here in that 3rd quarter. Both these clubs are very, very run heavy. Johnson with over 1,200 yards rushing this season, and Latavius Murray with 975. Again, another club that almost had 2 running backs with 1,000 yards. That's definitely 70s football. Off tackle run, defense guesses pass, defense was double teaming. Elsewhere, pickup of 8.
Yeah, you got to wonder if they'll revisit this rule where a halfback that's a 4-rated run blocker gets to run the ball out of a pro set. It just doesn't seem
realistic.
Equitable. Doesn't seem equitable to.
No, we saw it last year. There's a couple clubs who had that this year, and there was, I think Houston had a situation where Ezekiel Elliott maybe it was him who played fullback last year. I know he had a run block rating of 4. I know there was a couple of clubs that actually had it, but I do wonder in the offseason if we might see a switch to that. That's a good point.
You look at the way New Orleans is built. Good flat passer, 2 good running backs. In a rule set that doesn't have a dump off and rewards the white die 6 rule, that is a perfect combination for Gene. He's got, you got to worry about the run. You can't key a back really because either one can run. And if you have all 4s in the flats like Claude does, that's a really tough offense to stop.
And it's not a 3-4 with flats where you could at least move somebody there. You got to move that free safety up basically and start taking some guesses. And he did there. So that was a good call. Only a pickup of 1. But yeah, he's got that 6 has got to be a little bit more mobile. Maybe move that 6 into the middle and move that 4 to the left or to the right. You just got to start getting creative now.
And Gene's just waiting for him to move that guy up with some consistency and then go over the top. Yeah.
If he had any wide receivers at all, that's the shame of it is Shepard's not great. I mean, you basically have to rely on a D card reading to help those guys out. Neither one of those 2 are great.
Shepard's just as good as Devontae Adams when it's defender X or long game.
That's true. You got the benefit of the 4. It's a good point. White die 6 reading their pickup of 10. And so the Saints are looking pretty good. I say that, but their kicker has been a clunker so far. He's missed 2 field goals and 2 extra points, but dare I say they're in field goal range here. From here, it'd be a 41-yarder. They're already up by 9. But as Dennis mentioned a second ago, a touchdown could be a crusher here.
I think you might want to go for 2 if you get into the end zone.
I would unquestionably go for 2 here. Absolutely.
Forget about the kicker and make it a 3-score game.
Yeah, and that would just about salt it away. There's a run up the middle, pick up a 4.
The other benefit of this type of offense is that it creates these situations where you have really long drives that limits the possessions of your opponent. So Claude's going to need to get, maximum points from his drives just because Gene's taking up, 6, 7, 8 minutes of drive.
I didn't see the moves that he had made in the offseason, but you make a point about wanting to go over the top. There's an off-tackle run. It's guessed right. No gain. Now 3rd and 6. Good call, Montreal. So we don't know what New Orleans was planning before this season. Did they, we could talk to them after the game, but when you're saying upgrading your kicker, I do kind of wonder why they didn't make a move for a receiver. This is one of the weakest receiver groups that you're going to find.
Yeah, well, it's possible that, like you said, he wasn't really looking at championship, just being a playoff team, and he surprised himself with this playoff run. But
I think they're both 4s on the outside. Just to pick up 1-5, just to have, you would make a move like that to make that over the top a little bit more palatable.
Yeah, well, we've seen how it can work, selling out, going for that championship. What I've done, what Mark's done, but it can also work the other way where you don't. And Paul won a championship like that recently, and one of these coaches here is going to win one. Actually, Claude won one year where he wasn't even thinking about winning it. Just getting a championship team, and he was able to bring it home.
Cross-eyed and padding, short pass with the interception split, and a pretty big one, actually. So he dodges a bullet there. All right, so Zane Gonzalez, here we go. Hold your breath. 2 missed field goals, 2 missed extra points. This one is from 37. As we mentioned earlier, from 40 and 50, he is money. He missed it was 55, 56 just before the half, so give him a free pass on that one. Now let's see if he puts this one through. There we go. That's more like it. All right, so he's going to extend that lead now to 15-3. So now Montreal does not have the luxury of a touchdown or a field goal. They definitely need 2 touchdowns and to hold New Orleans. There's a deep kick. Let's keep our fingers crossed, but I bet you this one's going to be a freeze.
Yep, get out, get back in.
All righty. Hey, we made it all the way to the third quarter.
Good old Strat. It happens.
Yeah, good old Strat.
Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't miss Ryan Tannehill's 5th interception. 2nd down and 4. Defense guesses run. Going to look for Amari Cooper. This should be something good. Let's see if he capitalizes on this. He does. It's only a pickup of 7. Lots of double-digit pickups there, but he's only able to dial in 7. But he does get a first down on that play. We missed the first play due to the freeze, and Montreal now has the ball at the 38. They know what they've got to do. They were able to put together a nice drive. Unfortunately, they didn't capitalize, did not hit the field goal, and they find themselves now trailing 15-3 after New Orleans just kicked a field goal.
Really plenty of time for Montreal if they just, put some points on the board this next drive.
Yeah. But they're trailing now by 12, so field goals aren't going to be much help. They really need to find their way to the end zone on this drive. The white die 4 is able to make the play on that short pass, 2nd down and 10. Tannehill slowly but surely making his way to 100 yards, 77 so far. For the Arkansas product, I believe. Originally a Miami Dolphin.
Second and 10. Bring in your good runner. Make him think you're going to run.
Yep.
Off tackle. Try to hit that short gain.
Yeah.
And then go for a pass.
And he called pass. Excuse me, he called run. You're right. And that's a pickup of 8. So that was right. Dennis hit it exactly right. Scott has not been great this game. He's had 5 carries for 7 yards, but he's able to cross up New Orleans. He's not been afraid to call run on 2nd down, and this time Montreal was up to the challenge. They've got the ball now at the 46, and it's 3rd and 2. We might be looking at 4 down territory at this point, I'd have to say, but let's worry about 3rd down first before we think about what he's going to do on 4th down. And Brasileira has checked into the game. That's Morrow in front of him in the eye. Got those 2 5s up front. Got that 6 standing behind. There's an off tackle run. Defense guesses pass. Anything but the dreaded 5. All right. Able to pick it up. Offensive tackle makes the block. He went on the side that the offensive tackle was a 4, but he's still able to make the play. And the ball now is at the 50-yard line. With 54 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Montreal trailing 15-3. Remarkable that they're still in this after Ryan Tannehill has 4 interceptions. There's a pass looking for Cooper. Defense is double teaming Cooper. And for wow, what are the odds of this? Boy, we're seeing some crazy anomalies here. That is the 3rd time this game that Tannehill has completed a pass double teamed on his card. It's on a 5. So there's your pickup of 10 and another first down. So the Saints have correctly double teamed Cooper 3 times tonight. Actually, it may have been to Robinson on those others. Either way, That's 3 times now that he's had completed double team receptions on Tannehill's card. So once again, second consecutive drive, they've been able to move the ball. There is a deep pass, great double team there, pass incomplete. So they double teamed him on consecutive plays. And the pass goes to the turf. Just missed his 5th interception.
What's that guest right, Michael?
What was that?
What's that guest right? Move that
Oh,
slider
please.
over.
Yes. Sure. Nothing.
Must run, okay.
Must run. Second and 10, ball to 40. We've now made our way into the 4th quarter. Only one score that quarter, and that was a Zane Gonzalez kick. There's that off-tackle run. It's that 50-50 call on second down. Oh, but he gets on the D card. Yikes. And if it's offensive end 3 or -1, and that that usually spells doom, and in this case it does. So now they're behind the sticks once again, 3rd and 11. That was a bad break. Boston Scott just has not been able to get out of his own way. That's 6 carries now for 6 yards. Cannot catch a break on his card at all. Kind of a bad spot here for Montreal. They're trailing by 12, so field goal isn't going to do you much good here. So if he goes for a flat pass and doesn't get it, perhaps he'll go for it on 4th. Let's see if he tries that. Maybe he's going to try another run. He got away with one with the Darrell Williams run up the middle that picked up 17 on a 3rd and 12 midway in the 3rd quarter. New Orleans has 2 5 defensive tackles, but that shifts over to a 4 now to that nose tackle. So you're looking at a 5-4-4 in this 3-3-5 set. Big call here for Montreal. Can they convert? Got 4 there in the zone. Let's see if he moves that extra DB up. He has potential at 2 double teams here. Free double team, as Nathan Baylor likes to say. What do you got, Dennis?
Run it. That's what I do.
There it is. Defense guesses run, or defense guesses pass. That's understandable. Let's see if he can catch a break here. That's Larry in the backfield, and he does pick up some nice yards, actually.
It's the beauty of having a 6 run defender at middle linebacker.
That's right. So he stops him 2 yards short. That would have been a 1st down, but it's a more manageable 4th down. So rather than trying a field goal that would still cut the deficit to 9 points, they are going to go for it here. So it's a manageable 4th down. A good point, Dennis. Yeah, it's not only a 1 yard stop, but it's a 2 yard stop. So big difference between 4th and 2 and 4th and 3. Valera's in there again, but now that containment rule is out the window. Huge call here for the Alouettes. Big stop here for New Orleans. Screen pass, defense guesses pass. Defense double teaming Moreau. They are throwing to Edwards-Helaire. Oh, and they're going to get it just enough by the nose of the football. Give him 4 yards. That was a nice call. I liked what New Orleans did there. That made all the sense in the world to throw it to Moreau. Probably a coin toss. I bet you anything that Claude was going back and forth between both of those two. But he dialed it up right, and plus he picked on the 4. And Montreal looking good on this drive. Lots of time, 13 minutes plus running clock here in the 4th quarter in this Autumn Wind 2022-23 championship against 2 14-4 clubs. Two Canadian coaches, Claude Turcotte with Montreal, Jean Lafleur with New Orleans. Crossing pattern pass. Defense double teaming Cooper. They're looking for Allen Robinson here. If it's on the D card, it could be good. Defender X. Oh, the white die 4 comes again and makes the play. Wow, these white die 4s have been these white die 4 dynamic corners. How about that? Another play made. That was looking pretty positive there. 3 men in the zone. But Sidney Jones able to make the play. And it's 2nd and 10. So Claude Turcotte, as I'd mentioned in the pregame, which probably nobody heard because the microphones weren't working well, with the Montreal Alouettes of the Canadian Football League. There's a pitch out to Scott, and he finally breaks through with his, by far and away, biggest carry of the game, 17 yards. In fact, that he had 6 yards coming into that carry, basically. So 17 gets him up to 23, but more importantly, another first down for the Alouettes. If this was hockey, they'd be the Habs. We'd be the Canadians. And if we were the Saints with the Fleur-de-Lis, maybe it'd be the Quebec Nordiques. Early on, we didn't have any scoring, and it was looking like a hockey game, but now we're starting to get some points on the board, and Montreal is looking very good on this drive as they've been waiting for Boston Scott to have exactly that carry. So short gain. There's a curl pass. No double team. 4 men in the zone. It is correctly guessed. I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. Ryan Tannehill with his 5th interception of the contest. 4 men in the zone. And it's picked off. And had he double teamed elsewhere, had he double teamed somebody and it wouldn't have been that right receiver, it would have just been an incomplete pass. But because he didn't move anybody and just played it straight away, Montreal once again walks away with no points. So for the 2nd consecutive drive, they've made their way deep into New Orleans territory, and all they have to show for it is a missed field goal and Ryan Tannehill's 5th interception. There's a pass for Cephas, a white die 6, and a pickup of 10. So New Orleans now, which throughout this season has dominated time of possession, which a lot of coaches will argue back and forth as to whether or not that stat really has any relevance at all. In a case like this, it has an absolute relevance because if they can take the air out of the ball, a long drive, regardless of whether or not they get points out of it, could be huge here. So if they could stack several first downs, just keep this ball out of Alouette's hands, they could be lifting the trophy here in just over 11 minutes. Linebacker in zone is able to make that stop on Dearness Johnson. It's now 2nd down and 10, ball at the 30. 10:48, running clock. Hey, Dennis, we don't have access to that website anymore with the lists of champions, but if you have a little bit of time to go on the Autumn Wind site and see what you can see if the Saints have won a championship. I know Montreal has, and I want to think that New Orleans has as well. But unfortunately, I think the website basically goes to Super Bowl 3. And since we don't have access to that one page that has all the champions, the only way to do it is just to go through all the big long homepage. So if anybody has time to look at that, I appreciate it. 3rd down and 5. Montreal definitely not out of it, but at this point, these kind of down and distance situations are enormous for the Alouettes. They got to come correct on this play. But Dearness Johnson in the backfield, no surprise if he has a run here. He's got plenty of carries left. 9 carries for 48 so far. What do the Alouettes have up their sleeve here? Got to get this ball back and got to get it back soon. There's a square in pass and converted successfully. 7 yards. Matty Ice, nice flat pass card there. Guessed right. You know, Dennis was right. That's a very nice looking flat pass card. Only got that -2. Small little interception split. Dials up to 7 and moves the chain. So there's 2 minutes that go out the window. 9:36 to go here in the 4th quarter. Now Latavius Murray is checked in. Matt Ryan, 15 of 26 for 131 yards. Pedestrian numbers, but he's been careful with the ball. Defense guesses run there. Murray picks up 10 yards on that flat pass. And now they've made their way into Montreal territory with the ball at the 48. Alouettes would love to be able to cough up a turnover here. Both these clubs, actually, I looked at the turnover splits, really no advantage for either club. Both of them pretty much turned the ball over as much as they took it away. No real takeaway differential for either one of these two, within like a turnover or 2 for each club. So no advantage there. So highly unusual to have this many turnovers in a contest. There's a quick slant. Defense is double teaming Shepard. And that one is incomplete. Was looking for Ryan Griffin, who has 3 catches in this game. Griffin is on my SSFA team, as a matter of fact. I had Dearness Johnson on my Samifa team. There's a run to Dearness Johnson. It's not on his card, but it's on the D card. And the tackle is able to make the block and get him 7. So now it's 3rd and 3. 8:06 to go, 4th quarter. Saints up 15-3 in the Ooper Bowl, the Autumn Wind Football League Championship contest. Gene LaFleur and his New Orleans Saints. Looking to take home the top prize of this league. It's called the Duke. This league has roots of more than 50 years of face-to-face, card and dice, and eventually to the computerized version of this game that a lot of us really, really enjoy. And these kind of broadcasts are what led me to this game. So if you're seeing this for the first time and you want to learn more, visit stratomatic.com. There's a league registry there you can get involved with. 0 men in zone, short gain, another white dice 6. Wow. They've been getting their fair share of these, and that goes to Ryan Griffin. He picks up 14, and suddenly the Saints are now in field goal range. But more importantly, they keep chewing up clock. Another first down conversion as the ball is resting at the 27-yard line. Montreal trailing 15-3. So difficult now to key in on running backs when that flat pass is there and make your way down the field. And Ryan doesn't have a very much chance of an interception guessed right to begin with. It almost has to be something crazy on the D card. But Montreal does have a very good pass defense, so they do have a better split. And Ryan Tannehill's run into that twice today, at least. Midway point of the 4th quarter. Looking for Cephas. Again, defense guesses run. And another white die 6. Wow, he's just been dialing up white die 6s left and right. And it was a pass over the middle, so that'll get him 7. They flooded the flat there. If they'd thrown it right, I believe that would have been incomplete, or they would have gotten the 2 men in the zone reading. And that would have been an incomplete pass. So Montreal trying to get creative. They're moving that free safety around. 2nd down and 3. Ryan now with 162 yards passing. And there's another pass that's caught. It's a 6-yard pickup for Sterling Shepard. 80 receptions this year for Shepard. Today, 3 catches for 31 yards. And again, New Orleans moving the ball effectively, but more importantly, taking lots and lots of time off the clock. This drive started around the 12-minute mark, and we're already down to 6 minutes. Montreal trailing 15-3. And looking for any sort of break to turn this around. Some kind of turnover here. Anything just to stop this clock and get the ball back. And there is a run. Guessed right. So Dearness Johnson only picks up 1 on the play. It's now 2nd down and 9. But more time goes off the clock. 5:42 here in the 4th quarter. You know, it's times like this, I've mentioned this before, I kind of wish that Strat would give coaches a little bit of leeway when it comes to calling timeouts. Maybe letting them call timeout just a little bit early. Some people agree with that strategy. Some people disagree with the strategy, but I would like to have the flexibility to do that and get these timeouts in a little bit early. Maybe that's something Strat will consider. But for right now, Montreal is helpless to stop the clock. There's an off-tackle run. Defense guesses run. Nice call. And no gain. So Johnson is stopped right at the line of scrimmage. But more importantly, there go 36 more seconds off the clock. So I doubt New Orleans is going to take very many chances here. Probably just another run. Get another field goal attempt that could potentially extend this lead to 15 points. Montreal already needs 2 touchdowns to close this gap, but now they'd have the burden of having to pick up a 2-point conversion along the way. So I think New Orleans would be super happy just to get 3 here. That is assuming a very inconsistent Zane Gonzalez, who already has missed 2 field goals and 2 extra points, can put this one through, but he did nail a field goal in the 3rd quarter. It was the only score in that 3rd quarter. There's an off-tackle run. Defense guesses pass. It's Dearness Johnson, and he hits on a short gain. It's a pickup of 13, and he is going to make his way in for paid. Oh, wait, sorry. I'm so sorry. That actually was a linebacker containment. I apologize. I missed that. He should have made his way there, but instead he stopped a yard short. So New Orleans no, they're not going to think twice about this. They're going to put this one through and extend that lead. So I jumped the gun on that call. Gonzalez is able to put this one through. And so they've moved that lead out now 18-3. So they are down by 15, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. Good. We don't get a game freeze, so that's a plus. Now, fortunately for Montreal, they do have some excellent game-breaking receivers. Now, Amari Cooper's best days are behind him, but he's still solid downfield. Allen Robinson, not that bad. So they're not licked. But certainly an uphill climb here with 4:12 to go. And they're going to do exactly that. They're going to throw deep to Allen Robinson. Defense guesses pass. Didn't move anybody around. Unfortunately, it's on Tannehill's card, and there's a lot more A lot more spaces than there are positives. 2 and 12 are your best shot at anything for him. He also has must run on 8 and 10. But Claude's doing the right thing here. They got to throw this ball downfield. They got to get down in a hurry. And it's got to be something on the D card, and you've got to take advantage of something. You got some 4s here basically on each of these receivers, except now the 6 who was guarding the tight end has now moved over to a reserve wide receiver from the Colts. That's Paris Campbell. Defense is going to double team Allen Robinson here, crossing pattern pass, and that is for Nico Collins. He is not being double teamed. He's guarded by a 4. Ryan Tannehill has thrown his 6th interception of the game. I've never seen anything like this. I just feel bad. I feel really, really bad for Claude. He had coming into this game 16 touchdowns and 17 interceptions, but you can't possibly expect a 6 interception performance. And again, it's on that split. I'll have to go back through the broadcast, but I think the overwhelming majority of these interceptions have actually been on the D card, but you do get that benefit of a very good defense. You get a little bit of extra, potential at interceptions, but wow. So at this point, barring complete calamity, the New Orleans Saints are going to be hoisting the Duke here in 3 minutes and 36 seconds. Obviously, the story of the game is good. It's a shame, too, because the majority of this is going to be talking all about Tannehill. I mean, what else is there to say when you've thrown 6 interceptions? There's not really much else to discuss. You just hate to see a big game marred by an anomaly like that, but unfortunately, that's where we are. And that's not to take away anything from New Orleans. It's called a wonderful game. Defensively, they've been super strong. And here in the second half, they came up strong, stopping Montreal on 2 lengthy drives, one on a missed field goal, and of course another on an interception. But don't take anything away from them. This is a club that has been super, super good defensively this year, just allowing 16 points a game. And today looking just as strong. And again, Montreal holding New Orleans to 18 points, and that's after giving the ball away six times. So hats off to the Alouettes for playing through all of these turnovers and keeping this game close. There was never a time that you felt like Montreal was out of this contest. Not at all. You give them 10 points on the last drive that was with the interception in the end zone and then the missed field goal. We're looking at a far different game. But if there wasn't anything for bad luck, you'd have no luck at all. And again, 6 interceptions, just an amazing number. So 3rd down and 12, 2:24 to go. Montreal not stopping the clock. We'll see what they do here. Oh, nice call. Defense guesses run. So they're going to get the ball back. Let's see if they'll call timeout or let this thing go to the 2-minute warning. If they call timeout, they'll get a free play, and they do. That's right. That's a good call. So now 2-minute warning will pop up. Let's see where they will take over. Go to pin him pretty deep. 15-yard line. So Montreal will take over at the 15. They had the ball just 2 minutes ago. Ryan Tannehill with the interception. Now he's in shotgun. Crossing pattern pass. Defense guesses pass. Tannehill's going to run for it, and he cannot get out of bounds. He only picks up 2. And Montreal's going to let this one go through. So a minute 37 to go. 83 yards away from a score. Going to have an onside kick. Again, uphill battle. But they're going to fight to the end. You know they will. 97 seconds left before New Orleans Saints. Party in Mardi Gras. Hooday, hooday. Fleur-de-lis. In vignettes and mufladas for everyone. And hurricanes if you're so inclined. Looking for Amari Cooper. They play it straight. The pass is incomplete on another, yet another interception split. Boy, he's found that a couple times today. Rolling that 9 on the D card. 3rd and 8, a minute 30. Both these clubs 14-4. Both coaches from the Great White North. Crossing pattern pass to Collins. Defense is double teaming their big receivers here, Allen Robinson and Cooper. Get something on that receiver card. Excuse me, on the D card. Oh, it's on Tannehill's card, and lo and behold, he completes it. 11-yard pickup.
Hey, I had to jump out for dinner.
All right.
Looks like New Orleans is going to bring this home. I think this will be their first autumn win championship.
I kind of asked to see if somebody could go on the website because unfortunately we don't have that big list of who's won and who hasn't.
But yeah, but I'm sure Claude's won twice at least. Yeah, twice. And New Orleans has not won. Actually, if you look at this, a lot of Canadian championships here with Mark's got 3,
Yep.
Claude's got 2, and now Gene's got 1. That's pretty cool.
Take his first one, sure. I mean, how do you overcome 6 interceptions? I just never seen anything like this. Crossing pattern pass. That one's complete. So they're up to the 41, and they got the ball out of bounds, so that's good. All right, so the clock's going to stop with a minute 15. Any magic here for the Alouettes? Is there anything they can do to pull a rabbit out of a hat? Crossing pattern pass, looking again for Nico Collins. Defense.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Gandalf, Harry Potter, and Harry Houdini couldn't pull this out for the Alouettes.
In that order. Oh, if there's a fumble here, you've got to be kidding me. So Tannehill runs. He's going to fumble it. And let's see who's going to recover this ball. Oh, gosh, thank goodness. All right, well, they hold on. And the clock stops, so that's nice. So 3rd and 3, ball at the 48. So you're saying there's a chance. Got to figure out a way to get 2 touchdowns here in a minute. Got to start throwing the ball downfield, though, to have any shot. Got to have time if they get lucky and get the onside kick. It's time to start launching bombs. Let's see if New Orleans just plays this straight up.
All right, Michael, I'm out. Congratulations to both coaches. If a miracle of miracles happens,
I'll let you know.
I will resign from Autumn Wind next year. Montreal.
It'll be a new franchise in Seattle. Right.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Take care. All right, 3rd and 3. A minute to go here in this Autumn Wind Championship. 22-23, as Dennis said, this would be Gene LaFleur's first Autumn Wind title. If he can hold on. Square in pass. Wow, they left the linebacker there. That's interesting. They're not going to be able to stop the clock. They have to call timeout. It's a 9-yard pickup. First down. I have to think the Saints are going to call timeout here. Nope, they're not. They're going to play hurry up. So now let's see if they'll just launch 3 bombs downfield and try to score here from 43. $9:20 here on the East Coast. This game started at 7:30. A little bit of a rocky start with the broadcast. Had some trouble with some audio here, but we did get the overwhelming majority of it. There is a shot to Collins. Wow, double-teamed Collins? Gosh. Is Gene clairvoyant or something? He double-teamed Nico Collins. That's the second time he's done that, actually. So maybe he has an advanced scouting report on Nico Collins, the great Nico Collins. Just missed that long gain on 2. And he's got a 29-yard reception on 12. Unfortunately, you can't go out of bounds on a long pass. So he would have had to burn a timeout there. Hoping for snake eyes here. 3rd down, ball at the 37. Sideline pass right. There is a linebacker there. Maybe he can get a white die 6. Now he picks up 9. Oh, gosh, he cannot get out of bounds. He's got to take his timeout, and he will. So 30 seconds to go. All right, so now he's going to have a couple cracks at it here from the 34, and anything long gain should get him a touchdown at this point. Long gainy, if you will. Of course, the other problem is it's 4th and 1, so you have to be concerned about that. But I think the bigger concern at this point is just getting a touchdown. Yeah, you can get a first down here, but you have no way to stop the clock. Let's see if he launches it deep or he tries just to get the first down. He is going to throw deep to Allen Robinson. And there's 2 men in the zone, and that pass is going to fall to the turf. And with 22 seconds to go, it's all academic. 1 knee, and this game is going to be history. So congratulations to both of these clubs. Nothing to take away from either one of these two. It was a stalemate. Calls back and forth. Brilliant calls on both sides, but unfortunately turnovers were the story of this contest, and there's nothing you can do about that. Ryan Tannehill with 6 interceptions. On the other hand, a clean sheet from Matty Ice, and congratulations to the Houdays. The New Orleans Saints will raise the trophy this year. Congratulations to you, Gene LaFleur, your first ever Autumn Wind title. Way to go, Gene. Way to go. Congratulations, too, to Claude Turcotte. 2 consecutive years as conference championship, with conference championships under his belt. and a superior coach. And don't be surprised if we see 3 in a row, and maybe next year he lifts that title. But this year it belonged to it was all New Orleans. So we'll take a look at some of the statistics here. One thing that's impressive right off the bat, 6 of 13 in converting third downs. And that was huge on that last drive that took off so much of the clock in the fourth quarter. The field goal really was meaningless. It was more about the clock. The sore thumb you have to look at, Ryan Tannehill, 20 of 42, only 141 yards and 6 interceptions. A quarterback rating of 16.2. Matty Ice, steady, nothing spectacular, but he did the job. 19 of 31, 168 yards, and 1 touchdown. That was to Sterling Shepard. That was the longest pass of the game, was 18 yards. Neither one of these two clubs really have game-breaking wide receivers that are capable of dominating and taking it deep. Really, it's more about Montreal had them, but unfortunately today they really didn't make a lot of noise. Darrell Williams, 7 carries for 46 yards. No real news there. 20 carries total. That's when you don't have possession. Let's go look at that. Time of possession. As you can see, it's even, pretty much 29 and 30. New Orleans dominated time of possession this year, but that's not the normal amount of carries that you'll see from Montreal, a total of 20. And, of course, they were down so much of this game, kind of took away their ability to run. And toward the end, they basically were just chucking it on every play. On the other hand, Dearness Johnson, 13 carries for 64 yards. His backfield mate, Latavius Murray, 12 carries for 41. So there they go, both of them combining for 100. Leading receiver for Montreal was Darrell Williams. That's not a great sign. 5 catches for 29 yards. Amari Cooper held in check. 3 catches for 19. Allen Robinson, 2 catches for 23. So nothing really to look at there. Cephas with 5 catches for 34. Honestly, just a couple of players with nothing really there on the per carry average. Judon had the only sack of the game. For Montreal, no sacks for New Orleans. That's not a team that really puts on pressure. With 6 interceptions, you have to think who had the most interceptions. Quite honestly, they were split. Eric Rowe did wind up picking off 2. The rest of them went to Sidney Jones, A.J. Boye, the Honey Badger, and lineman Dalvin Tomlinson. So there are your interceptions, all 6 of them, basically. Anybody have a big day for tackles? Devontae Campbell with 9. There's 13 for Zach Cunningham, who had a crazy number of tackles this year for Montreal, about 160 coming into this game, although that's kind of randomized. So there is your box score. And there is your final score. So New Orleans, congratulations again to Jean LaFleur, taking the title, 18-3. We're going to jump in. I want to send a note to everybody and see if anybody wants to join the broadcast. And if not, we are going to close it down for the evening. If either of the two coaches want to join me after the broadcast, kind of feel free. Period.
Good job, Michael. I'm sorry my audio didn't help you.
I'm going to shut it down. Yeah, I'm really sorry, Duke. We'll go to work on this hard next year to make sure we get this thing right so we can broadcast this thing and do it right. So I'm truly sorry that we weren't able to work this thing out. I'm wanting to see. Actually, it looks like somebody joined. Let's see who's in the lobby. I wonder who that is. Hold on. Let me see who that is. It was Dennis. So Dennis is gone. Yeah, I sent a note to see if anybody wants to join, but I don't think that we're going to have anybody coming into this at this point. So you hate to see a game end like this that is marred by turnovers. You just hate to see a game that's going to finish up like this. But it doesn't take away from the season that New Orleans had, a fantastic year. And as Dennis said, this team is built for this kind of offense. Basically, flat passes and runs. They didn't have the best receiver core, but they didn't have to throw downfield. Very rarely did you see Ryan throw anything short or long, and he certainly didn't get burned by interception. So he coached up this team to their abilities, and for that, he is going to hoist the Duke this year. So unless anybody else is going to join us here for the broadcast, I'm going to shut her down. And thank you again for allowing me to bring this broadcast to you. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that if you are not part of this league and you're looking to get into this hobby, once again, Google Stratomatic. You can Google Autumn Wind, SOMIFA, SOMIFA. Those are several leagues already that are very well established. Some things that you might want to look at. Certainly, it's a wonderful hobby. I've met a lot of great friends in this league, and it's definitely worth picking up. And if you're sick of playing with the joysticks with Madden and you want to get into some real strategy, look it up. Look up Stratomatic. It's a great hobby, and I've met a lot of great friends here too. So I'm going to close down this broadcast. So thank you again for joining us. We really appreciate it. God bless everybody, and we look forward to seeing everybody next August. Take care.